Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Matthew and Carlene channel. Today, we're going to be doing something that hits a little closer to home. We are going over the factual differences between being a passport bro and local Western dating through personal experiences. Well, for my personal experience, because that's all I have to go up by with you guys. And I think that will get the message clearer. We're going to start this off by going over what's been on a lot of people's minds lately, the big topics, which is money and sex. Let's start out with money. Very often people would tell me that, hey Matthew, isn't it like more expensive to be a passport bro and try to get away from overseas? You know, the international dating market? Well, I'll be honest with you guys, it really is not. Because I actually tried the local Western dating market, and it doesn't matter which way I crunch the numbers, getting away from overseas is a lot more affordable and a lot more enjoyable. So, but since you guys want to hear proven facts, let's crunch the numbers and go over it bit by bit. On average, a Western man first has to learn to approach women here in the West. Like navigate the minefield and avoid, while at the same time avoiding risks so he can avoid a false allegation, stuff like that, being called creepy, etc., etc. Out of that, he will have to convince the woman to casually date him. This is the key word, casually date. We still haven't gotten any sex yet. When he's just casually dating her, he's still fully expected to pay for dinner, movies, everything, plan everything, you name it. Then we get to the exclusive dating where he's still fully expected to pay for dinner, movies, you name it, fun, literally everything. Gas money too, to pick her up, etc., etc. Yeah. So, and anyways, when you price the numbers, on average, when all that money is spent, before the man gets any sex, or I say get a chance of sex, on average, at the lowest cost, the average Western man will spend about $5,000 to $6,000 to get a 30% chance increase on sex. That's keyword, chance. There's no guarantee for sex on the local Western day market. There's only a chance. So if he pays for all that, his chances of getting sex is increased by 30%. Which leaves there still to be a 70% chance of him getting friend zoned, where the woman has zero to no intentions on reimbursing him. Let's face it, we all know that despite what the feminist movement promotes, women will never go 50-50 on dates. They never will. They fully expect men to pay for everything. They do. The phrase how women treat men like ATMs is actually real. It really is. When it comes to dating internationally, getting away from overseas, well, since the majority of all your dates are through FaceTime like this, as a secondary passport bro, well, I got news for you. The only really big expense you'll be paying for with being a passport bro is flying over to see her and paying for the visa. And that's really about it. So, from my own experience, when I finally made a decision to visit Carlene in the Philippines, on flight from the Florida to the island of Iloilo, not the Philippine island of Manila, which is the capital, but the secondary flight, but all the way to Iloilo, another city in the Philippines, well, another island actually. Even without mileage points, your total expense for a two-way plane ticket from Florida to Iloilo would be roughly about like $2,000. Yeah. And after that, you're paying for stuff like hotel and food, which will, for hotel to stay for both of you, eh, because of the value of the American dollar goes a lot further there, it'll be roughly about the same price as a week's worth of groceries. And then you have groceries, and then you have food, which is even lower. So I'm going to let me say, you're looking at first visit, you'll be spending roughly about like 2,300, which I know that sounds expensive. I know. But when you consider like all the expenses of the local Western dating market that you are literally cutting out of your budget when being a passport bro, you're just cutting it out. Saving up that kind of money becomes a lot more affordable to you. It really does. Trust me. Not to mention that when you do this, you're going to be guaranteed sex. You will. Now, the reason why is because, unlike here in the West, in countries like the Philippines, Thailand, Colombia, Brazil, you name it, these countries are very much anti gold digger countries. And I mean insanely anti gold digger. It's typical average norm in the Philippines. This was made perfectly clear to me that in these countries, if a woman gives off even the slightest bit of gold digger behavior, the family's reaction is to say, okay, you're a full grown adult now, but you've proven to be way too expensive for us, so we're going to cut you off. That's literally what happens when a woman from these countries demonstrates gold digger behavior. It literally is. So, yes, you'll be guaranteed sex and more. A lot more. Like, these women have no problems feeding you. Cooking for you, all that stuff, all that traditional stuff. Now, let's go over the legal stuff that I think we are going to go over. You know that here in the local Western day markets, there's absolutely zero to no protection for men, legally speaking. Like, we've seen like so many family court horror stories, like the current divorce rate in the local Western day market. We've all seen it. We all seen the horror stories that men go through when it comes to going through divorce through the family court system when he marries a local Western woman. We've all seen it. But on top of that, I also have had personal experiences where women here in the West will end a relationship with a guy who's proven to be an essential asset to her life in every way imaginable for the most dumbest of reasons. Like the absolute dumbest of reasons, the woman will end the relationship with that guy. Right? It'll be like, hey, oh, you didn't make me feel a certain way, or you made me feel uncomfortable somehow, but never provide an actual explanation for how he did it. Or you're not reading my social cues, even though social cues are different for every single woman on every single human being on the entire planet. Like the list goes on and on. It's like operating a minefield. It really is. Where in the Philippines, in countries like the Philippines, Thailand, Brazil, etc., because of how absurdly, hugely anti-divorce culture these countries are, guess what? That woman is not going to leave you. She won't. Like, Carlene's family have already made it abundantly clear to me. Like, abundantly clear that, like, hey, Matthew, if Carlene were to choose to leave you without having a documented, legitimate reason for doing so, they will disown her and they will be scrambling to find me another Filipina wife, another Filipina who they believe will be a much better match for me. Like, they literally will. That is how it works in these countries. On top of which, unlike the local Western dating market, when we're going back to divorce here, where you have no legal protections, hardly any, but when you're doing an international marriage, I can tell you from first-hand experiences here, you're going to have immigration laws added on top of your already pre-existing family court laws that literally the family court judges have no legal authority to overturn. Like immigration, me and Carlene have been navigating immigration almost on my way, and I got news for all of you. They have made it abundantly clear to us that, hey, family court, child services has no authority over them. None. Literally none. But the days where, like, hey, the women from overseas could use family court and child services to finagle the court system, to finagle the system or the immigration system, that's over. It is. Like, I got news for you. I literally had to go to the county clerk's office and get a certificate of no marriage, of not being legally married here in the U.S., in order for our visa application to have the slightest chance of approval. Same goes for her too. Like literally. Also, even before these new laws were in place, we found out that, hey, a green card alone does not guarantee the woman immunity from deportation. It does not. The woman would still have to submit 3 to 5 years of evidence of being in a committed marriage with you. And before she got that. But with these new immigration laws, I got news for all of you guys. With these new immigration laws, even if she has 3 to 5 years worth of evidence of being in a committed marriage with you, if she ends a relationship with you, she could still be deported. She can be. That's right. The immigration made it pretty clear, like I said, you can't use family court or child service to finagle the system anymore. You can't. And the biggest part is that, hey, since we all know how immigration works and how immigration will handle it, got news for you. If immigration does deport her because, hey, she chooses to end the marriage with you, got news for you. Any assets that she built here in the West, since they were made out of American resources, they don't go with her. Nope. They stay here with you. They really do. So, yeah, there's that. Where, let's face it, going back to marrying a local Western woman, if you don't have a prenup, you're screwed. If she divorces you. She really will. The other thing is that, unlike the local Western dating market, where, hey, it's like you're fishing in the deserts, or it was like you're fishing in the deserts. When you do the international dating market, being a passport bro, you are literally going to have your pick of the litter. Like, you really will. My experience with local Western dating is that the options were very, very slim and minimum, even for the average man. But when I became a passport bro and started going on like things like Filipino Cupid, other dating websites, up until I met Carlene on Filipino Cupid, I got news for you. I was like, wow, just wow. I had so many women trying to court me, as they were. Well, not really court, but I had so many options, I couldn't believe it. And these were very attractive women. They were. I ended up settling on Carlene, because, like, hey, Carlene, she earned that ring from me. She really did. Where, here in the, what's now, speaking of earning, we're going to go back, we're going to talk about that too. We're here in the Western dating market, hey, man has to do so much. It's like so much just to get attention from even a woman who's absurdly morbidly obese. Like, here in the Western dating market, the majority of women, not all, but the majority of them, they overestimate their value to the point where, I got news for you, it just looks insanity. Like, I really come across a woman who's so morbidly obese to the point where she looks like a cow, and she still thinks she's a 10. Literally, like, she looks like a bloated whale well, where it will be a struggle just to get her in the front door, and she'll still call herself a 10. Yeah, where as a passport bro with women from overseas, these women are taught to be a lot more humbler at a young age. They really are. They really are. They're more realistic about like, hey, what their value is on the day market, and they judge that based on what they're capable of offering. They really do. And now we're going to what women overseas are offering compared to women from here in the West. The difference is pretty much night and day. It really is. My experience here in the local Western day market of what women were offering, what they bring to the table, the answer is nothing. She claims she is the table because that's what she. I'm not going into it. Bottom line, she just brings nothing. The only thing she brings is shame and gaslighting, and that's literally it. That's really what the majority of women here in the West bring to a man. They don't bring anything of real value or substance. Like, I can't ask for the woman to cook for me. That's misogynistic and patriarchal. Can't ask her to clean for me. That's misogynistic and patriarchal. If I ask for sex, hey, if I ask for sex when she doesn't want sex, oh, I'm a predator somehow, or I'm nebulous. Like, the list goes on and on. Like, the only thing you get, you would actually be getting in the long run, is just shame. Like, if you do anything wrong, even the slightest bit, here in the West, the woman will hold you accountable for years and years and years on end, probably up until the day you die. Like, we all know that phrase, happy wife, happy life. Got news for you. The reason why for that phrase is because if that woman becomes unhappy, she will make your life just absolutely miserable. She will fully commit to giving you round the clock torture until the day you die. And I got news for you, it's just exhausting. It is. Even when you do get sex, when you compare it to all the other stuff, all the other headaches you're going through, it's not worth it. Like, I would rather play a video game. Because, hey, with a video game, I can turn it off. I can. Where women from overseas, on the other hand, they have, like, Philippines, Thailand, Brazil, Colombia, you name it. They have no problems committing to the traditional gender roles. Like, in my experience with Carlene, like, these women will be submissive. They will keep themselves in shape because they're very much oriented on that. They'll be willing to cook for you, clean for you. Like, even if you do try to help them, which my wife, I tried helping Carlene with that. She made it pretty clear I was just getting in her way. And moreover is that if they don't do that for you, it's to them is like they're failing as a wife. Yeah, that's literally the impression they do if they are unable to be nurturing and caring for you. And yes, you will get sex. Like, they will give you sex when you want it because they think that's natural. In fact, if you look at the marriage contracts, you're going to noticing that your marriage contract, and as well as your vows, gives no real exception for when one of you is feeling sexual and the other is not. Like, these ladies have no problems taking care of you and taking care of the house on top of getting a job. Like, they're very hardworking. And now for the last part. Here in the West, women don't want to earn that ring anymore. They don't. They just flat out don't. They think the ring is something they're entitled to. Yeah, they think they're entitled to anything, to everything. Here in the West, because of the feminist movement, the majority of Western women think that men just owe them everything. They do. Where if you become a passport bro, you're going to be noticing that the majority of women have no problems earning that ring for you, from you. They really don't. And here's the reason why. The thing is, well, I'm going to make this clear in the kind of dry way I possibly can. I've seen women here in the West who have everything they want, and they're still never happy. I've seen women here, let me backtrack. I've seen women here in the West who have everything they want, who the man gave them everything, and yet they have zero to no problems abandoning that man and leaving him for dead the moment things become uncomfortable. I've seen women in the Philippines, in the province area of the Philippines, like Yamaras, who are willing to do laundry by hand just so they can clothe their family. When I became a passport, I realized that, like, hey, the women there, they're taught the valuable lesson that the title of wife is something that's earned. I mean, the status of wife is something that's earned. It's not an entitlement. It's defined by the woman's actions. So be honest with me, everybody. Who do you think is more deserving of that ring from you guys? Who do you think it is? Is it the morbidly obese Western woman who thinks that, like, hey, men owe her stuff? Or is it the woman from the Philippines or Thailand, Brazil, Colombia, who has no real fears at all in putting the work to earn that ring? I, for one, think it's the woman who has no real fears at all in putting the work to earn that ring. And the reason why is because if the woman does not put in the work to earn that ring from you, then that ring is nothing more but a measly piece of scrap metal with a rock on it. It's completely worthless. It really is. And there's no point in going around wasting any of your money or your hard-earned resources pretending otherwise. But a woman who is willing to work, putting the work to earn that ring from you, guess what? That ring is going to be a direct reflection of her value, of what she brings into your life, regardless of the stone or the metal. It really will be. Because what makes the ring valuable is not the rock, is not the metal, is what the woman did to earn it. It really is. And another difference between being a passport bro and local Western dating is, well, yeah, the traveling and experiencing different cultures. Like, if you do just local Western dating, you only have one culture to experience. Where if you be a passport bro, hey, you get to experience multiple different cultures and learn a lot of things. Like Carlene, she's trying to teach me her language, so I can communicate with her mom better. Carlene speaks perfectly English. It's her second language. Yeah. And another difference between being passport and local Western dating is, well, I got news for you. Local Western dating, women don't cook for you at all. Passport bro from women from overseas, not only do you have no problems cooking for you, but they will teach you. They will be more than happy to teach you how to cook. Like these Filipino dishes that my beloved Carlene taught me how to make, like sopas, etc., etc. These have been like my main These have been my main diets, and trust me, everybody, it's starting to show. It really is. Wow, it's just delicious. Oh, and there's also putu that she taught me how to make. Uh, it's basically like one of those cupcakes, only instead of putting it in the oven, you steam it. And oh man, this stuff is just flat out delicious. Your taste buds will thank you for being a passport bro. They really will. Oh yeah, and of course, don't be afraid if you have to put a stop to the cooking dates, because like, hey, you do the cooking date so much you end up killing the skillet. Yeah, I did that, and it's embarrassing to this day. It really is. But hey, I'm willing to laugh about it. We'll have a good laugh. But yeah, these are the differences, and honestly, it's quite pleasant. Like, it really is. I was able to, because I became a passport bro, I had enough time on my hands for a lot of things, like learning how to invest in crypto, making this YouTube channel, I was able to explore a lot of parts of Florida, like that I never would have been able to have time to explore if I was still doing the local Western dating thing. Like, really. And honestly, if I can go back in time, if I could honestly go back in time, I wouldn't even bother with the local Western dating market. I really wouldn't. I would strictly focus on being a passport bro all the way. I honestly would. Like, the amount of money you are going to be saving up on this is insane. It really is.